Coming up next, boys high school basketball on your sports leader in Lorain, WLCS TV 20.
Welcome back to the Coliseum at Elyria Catholic High School. Tim Elkhorn, Troy DeFranco, on-site engineer Jared Kozar, back in the studios of AM 930 WEOL, Steve Bailey. This place is packed. I mean, they are standing around the concourse. Both bleachers are pulled out. The sides are completely full. This is what high school basketball is all about. Division I District Championship game between Olmsted Falls and Lorain High. Troy DeFranco, you've heard from Chris D'Alicio, the head coach of the Bulldogs, a guy I know that you know very well and you respect tremendously. We've heard from John Rossitano, and I know you have the same feelings for John. So as you size this one up and as you've heard from the coaches, what do you see unfolding tonight here at Elyria Catholic?
Well, like you said, two outstanding coaches, two outstanding programs. As I said before, these senior classes, these communities have looked forward to this year for a few years. I think for Olmsted Falls, the keys for them, they have to limit turnovers, crash the offensive glass, be disciplined on defense, and protect the middle of the floor against a dribble drive offense that Lorain does. That's very, very important. For Lorain, I think they have to do what they've been doing all year, create turnovers to lead the easy offense. And I think they need to get Pierre Lewis going inside early because they have some size advantage inside there. And Lorain's got to get off to a quick start because the longer they let Olmsted Falls hang around, the more dangerous these Bulldogs become.
I would agree with you on that. Troy, how challenging is it for Chris D'Alicio and this Bulldog team, though, to only have basically yesterday to get ready for tonight? Maybe a quick shoot around this morning, but that would be about it. Is that a blessing in the fact that, hey, we just go play the game? Or as Chris said, man, I wish I had 10 days to get ready for Lorain.
Well, I'm sure they'd like to have more days, but I'm sure they've been scouting Lorain for a long time leading up to this with the, you know, they're good coaches. They know what's going to, the possibilities of things that are going to happen. So, yeah, you would like to have a couple more days, but these kids are high school kids playing for a district championship. You shouldn't have to do much to get these kids ready to play.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Bulldogs from Olmsted Falls. The number 2 seed, 22-2 on the year. It'll be 6'1" senior Eric Hanna. Hanna, their top scorer at 17.6 per ball game, and he can shoot it from downtown. Hanna coming into tonight, 67 three balls on the year. 6'3" senior Ryan Higginbotham in the starting lineup. Higginbotham averaging 7.6 points per ball game. Braden Galaska, 6'1" senior at 12.1 in the starting lineup. Braden can hit the long ball as well, 26 coming into tonight. Talk about a deep ball threat. How about Michael Fritz, 6' senior, averaging 7 per game. He's got 34 threes on the year. And rounding out the starting five for Olmsted Falls, 6'4" senior Gavin Dietrich. Dietrich at 8.6 per ball game. Bulldogs come into tonight averaging 66 per contest. For the Titans from Lorain High under head coach John Rossitano, it'll be 6'4" junior Jordan Jackson. Jackson at 9.9 per game. Troy DeFranco referenced their big guy down low, 6'6" senior Tavon Pierre Lewis. Pierre Lewis averaging 17.3 per ball game. The youngster who moved in from New York City, but with Lorain roots, Deontay Benajan in the starting lineup, 6' junior at 13.1 per ball game. 5'7" senior Cam Davis, the defensive specialist. Cam Davis at 2.9 per ball game. And rounding out the starting five, one of the premier players in Lorain basketball history, not just the city, but Lorain County, and perhaps one of the best in the state of Ohio this year, 6'2" senior Devon Grant. Grant averaging 26.3 points per ball game. 94 three balls on the year for Devon Grant. Lorain coming in averaging 81.4 per game, giving up 60.2. Three officials working tonight's ball game. They are Bobby Starks along with Nick Cream and Scott Gooden. Well, let's hope our third game tonight on AM 930 WEOL turns out a little bit better than our first two. Earlier this afternoon on AM 930, Rob Polinsky had the call down at Cuyahoga Falls. The Elyria Catholic girls with a real tough loss in a regional championship game. They led by 18 in the second half, but ended up losing by 2 to Chippewa, 39-37. So Elyria Catholic on the girls' side ends up as regional runner-ups. And then Troy and I, as we mentioned earlier, we were down at Mansfield-Madison High School earlier today. We had the Division II District Championship game on the boys' side between Vermilion and Norwalk. Boy, gritty effort by the Sailors, but they come up shy as the Norwalk Truckers win that district by a final of 46-39. So Lorain High is the last Lorain County basketball team on the tournament trail.
Yeah, and you know, it's too bad about those other teams, but what great seasons they had. You know, you'd like to see them get to the regional, but with your last hope being in Lorain, that's the way they've been playing. But you look at this game, 45-3 combined record between these two teams. You can't ask for anything better.
And as you said, two great programs, two unbelievable coaches in Chris Delisio and John Rossitano. And look at these stands, incredible community support.
If the game is as good as these fans have been in the pregame, we're going to have a heck of a game. I've had goosebumps.
Let's play some district championship basketball. Glad to bring it to you on AM 930 WEOL. And of course, for our fans in Lorain, Joe Bach, WLCS TV 20 has tapped into our audio. We'll be talking about TV 20 as the night goes along. Lorain wins the tap. Right corner three ball up, no good, but the rebound tracked down by Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis in the left corner, fires it right side. Three from Jackson, in and out. Rebound grab, Gavin Dietrich for Olmsted Falls. Here come the Bulldogs. Into the forecourt, Michael Fritz. Fritz got it on the baseline to Higginbotham, throws it out front to Dietrich. Dietrich at the top of the circle, back on the right side to Braden Galaska. Gave it on the baseline, and the shot is up and good from Ryan Higginbotham. Higginbotham with the first 2 points of the ball game. Here comes Devon Grant to the forecourt for Lorain High. Grant right side to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Got it out front. Grant, three ball, in and out. Rebound grab by Olmsted Falls. Ryan Higginbotham. And the Bulldogs quickly head down this 84-foot floor at Elyria Catholic. Bulldogs going left to right along your radio dial. Heading towards us in our customary spot here at EC. On the sideline, Higginbotham got it out front to Dietrich. Dietrich for Olmsted Falls, lobs down low. Back to the basket, Braden Galaska. Gave it to Higginbotham, who drives, missed the shot. Higginbotham on the baseline as he tried to grab his own rebound. I'm not sure we need a crowd mic tonight.
Olmsted Falls right away, picking up full court pressure.
2-0 Bulldogs. We are just underway, 6:45 to go. First quarter of play at a jam-packed, standing room only Elyria Catholic. Into the forecourt, Tavon Pierre-Lewis left of the lane. Shot no good. Boy, Lorain has come out stone cold. Gavin Dietrich grabs the rebound for Olmsted Falls, feeds it ahead to Fritz. Got it down the floor to Higginbotham, who drives and scores. Ryan Higginbotham, 2 buckets for the Bulldogs. They lead it 4-zip. Up the left side, Jordan Jackson, or Deontay Benejan, excuse me, for Lorain High. Fed it in between the circles to Devon Grant. Devon Grant at just under 28 points per game. Gave it off to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Left corner, Jackson threw up an air ball, missed it. Rebound grabbed and put back up by Davis. No rebound, fought for. Galaska had it and lost it out of bounds. Well, we mentioned Joe Bach is here, WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. Check out their YouTube page. Joe does fantastic work. Boy, wait till you see the crowd shots that Joe Bach will provide tonight. Lorain basketball, 4-0. Olmsted Falls has jumped out to the early lead. Tavon Pierre-Lewis lobs it out front to Jordan Jackson. Run of the lane, in the lane, runner up. No, boy, Lorain can't buy a bucket. Out of there with it, Eric Hanna. Here comes Hanna to the forecourt, down the floor to Higginbotham. Higginbotham on the left wing, outside the three-point arc, threw it out front. Pass stolen away by Cam Davis. Davis stepped on the sideline. That's a good call right there. Cam Davis, right in front of that Bulldog bench, did indeed step on the sideline.
Cam Davis has one job so far, and that's know where Eric Hanna is. He is face guarding him everywhere on the floor. Hanna, of course, had a 40-some point game against Westlake this year, set their single game scoring record at Olmsted Falls.
Cam Davis, the designated stopper for Lorain High. John Rossitano will always have Cam Davis on the other team's best offensive player. Galaska double team, got it down low to Higginbotham, laid it up and in. Higginbotham with all 6 Bulldog points. 6-0. Olmsted Falls has jumped out on top. Jackson down the floor to Grant. And Devon comes into the lane, down the lane, left hand, nobody got fouled. So Devon Grant will shoot 2. That's our first foul tonight. And that one will be called on the Bulldogs' Michael Fritz. And it'll put Devon Grant at the free throw line. Bulldogs have jumped out to the 6-0 lead.
Olmsted Falls done a nice job against Lorain's pressure with the traps. If you can get out of that trap, you're going to get layups on the other end.
Here's Devon Grant shooting 2 down at the other end of the floor. First one up and in, and Lorain is on the board. 86% free throw shooter. Makes it 6-1. Grant has that blue number 3 trimmed in silver on his home white uniform. Second one right on the mark. And Devon Grant makes it a 6-2 ball game.
Lorain picking up full court.
5:17 to go first quarter. Olmsted Falls up 6-2. Into the forecourt comes Michael Fritz. Cross-court pass to Ryan Higginbotham. Back in the middle to Fritz. Fritz against Devon Grant. Now they get it to Dietrich. Bounce down low. Pass stolen by Cam Davis. Feeds it ahead to Deontay Benejan, who drives, scores, and let's hold everything. We got a foul called on Olmsted Falls. Boy, we're going to have a hard time hearing the whistles tonight. This crowd is so electric and loud that you can barely hear the whistles.
Braden Galaska with that foul.
So Galaska picks up his first for the Bulldogs, their second team foul. Jackson inbound, got it out front. Well, the ball actually tipped out of bounds. Nice play, Gavin Dietrich for Olmsted Falls. And now the Bulldogs will go to their bench. Here comes Chuck Backus in the ball game, 6-foot senior, averaging 6 per game.
That last steal by Davis was off a set play to try to get Hannah a back door. He made a heck of a play to read that.
Lob on the inbounds. Tavon Pierre-Louis saves it in, but he saved it in to Olmsted Falls. Here comes Backus. Backus left of the lane, hits the brakes, got it down in the corner to Galaska, out front to Dietrich. Dietrich had it knocked out of his hands by Jackson, who heads to the other end. Put it up, nobody got fouled. There's Lorain creating turnovers, leading to points at the other end.
And that's it. That's what they have to do to get this offense moving.
That foul was on Hannah, for Eric Hannah. That's his first, and that's going to put Deontay Benejan at the free throw line. Only a junior, averaging 13 per game. Down at the other end, free throw up and in for Benejan.
Benejan shooting right into the Olmsted Falls student section, who is dressed in all white tonight.
Lorain has yet to have a field goal. 3 points from the free throw line. Benejan, second one on the way, got it. So Benejan with his first 2, and it's 6-4. Titans back to within a bucket, 4:35 to go. Into the forecourt, back is for Olmsted Falls, out front to Dietrich. Dietrich in the right corner to Higginbotham. Higginbotham looking, bounces it to Dietrich, to a driving Backus, who laid it in. Chuck Backus with his first 2, 8-4 Bulldogs. Here's Devon Grant in the backcourt, and Grant bounced it off his own foot out of bounds.
So one disadvantage when you take a player away like Cam Davis is, when he is face guard, he's not even looking at the ball. You don't have that weak side help for some of those backdoor cuts.
8-4 Olmsted Falls, 4:18 to go here in the first quarter of play. Inbounds to Backus. Backus against Devon Grant. Topside Galaska, 3, too strong. Long rebound tipped in the air, still loose. Dietrich able to grab it. Dietrich bounced to Higginbotham, who laid it in. Higginbotham with an 8-point first quarter. And at the other end, ball knocked out of bounds by a hustling Braden Galaska.
Lorain trying to push the ball up the sideline in their fast break. Galaska got over and knocked that out of bounds.
Here comes Austin Steffen in the game for the Bulldogs. Gavin Dietrich will take a seat. It's a very confident Olmsted Falls basketball team. They're 22-2.
And 5 seniors, they've been looking forward to this. They're ready.
Inbounds to Devon Grant in the backcourt. We're halfway through the first quarter. Lorain still looking for a field goal. Right wing, 3-ball Grant. Short, long rebound comes to Tavon Pierre-Louis. He fires it in the left corner to Jackson. Jackson out front, had it stolen away by Higginbotham, who drives to the other end and laid it in. And John Rossitano wants a 30-second timeout, and the Bulldog fans are up on their feet. 12-4. Olmsted Falls has roared out to the 8-point first quarter lead, 3:41 to go in the opening period. 10 of the 12 points from Ryan Higginbotham, who came into tonight averaging just under 8.
And what's the reason he's getting those points is because they're breaking the trap. He's on the baseline, and there's no help side when Davis is on the other side guarding Hannah.
Well, John Rossitano huddling the troops. And as you said, Troy, the longer Olmsted Falls either has the lead or is hanging around, that gives them that much more confidence.
Yeah, they do. And, I talked to Coach Ciolik before, assistant Coach Ciolik before the game, and he said these kids are ready. They are confident, and they believe they're going to win this game.
Well, they put Lorain in an 8-point hole early on. Great start for Olmsted Falls. 12-4. The Bulldogs lead it with 3:41 to go here in the opening quarter. And now Olmsted Falls with some pressure in the backcourt. Up the right side, Jordan Jackson. Jackson on the right sideline. Jackson fires it in between the circles to Grant. Left wing, Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Tavon Pierre-Lewis down the left side. Ball knocked out of bounds by Austin Steffen.
Lorain out of sorts a little bit offensively. Haven't hit that field goal yet.
Aaron Whitehead will get in for Lorain High. Well, he was heading to the scorer's table. And now he's going to take a seat. So Lorain does not sub as they throw it into Devon Grant. Grant out front, long three. That one's off the mark, and it's way off. A rebound grab by Higginbotham. Higginbotham down the right side to Backus. Back out front to Higginbotham. Higginbotham gave it off to Steffen. Steffen left of the lane, hands it off to Hannah, who drives and scores. Eric Hannah got free of Cam Davis, and it's a 10-point lead for the Bulldogs. Lorain at the other end. Left of the lane, Benejan up. No, but he got fouled. So still, Lorain without a field goal. But Benejan goes back to the free throw line. That foul called on Austin Steffen. That is his first. And for the Bulldogs, they're now at 4 team fouls.
If I'm not mistaken, all 14 of Olmsted Falls' points have been layups.
They've been able to beat that pressure. So here's Deontay Benejan down at the other end. First free throw up and good. So Benejan now with 3. Makes it 14-5. Lorain looking for that first field goal. John Rossitano looking up at that clock.
Aiden Brown in for the Titans.
And Benejan hit them both. He's a good free throw shooter at 74%. Now Whitehead checks in along with Aiden Brown, as Troy just mentioned. Benejan takes a seat. And I'm trying to see who else checked out of there. Was it Jordan Jackson?
Yes.
Yes. Bulldog basketball. They lead it by 8, under 3 minutes to go. Left of the lane, Higginbotham threw it in the lane, and the shot rolled off. Rebound put back up, and it fell in for Austin Steffen. Steffen with his first 2, lead back to 10. 16-6, Olmsted Falls. Whitehead in the backcourt, got it to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis into the forecourt, rumbles down the lane, scoops, no. Rebound loose, out of there with it comes Backus. Backus for Olmsted Falls, fires right side, 3 from Hannah, right on the mark. Eric Hannah, boy, he got a look and he drained it. 19-6, Bulldogs by 13. Into the forecourt comes Lorain. Cam Davis into the lane, short shot, missed it. Rebound lost. Out front it goes to Cam Davis. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Tavon Pierre-Lewis, run of the lane, backs in, and a blocking foul will be called on Braden Galaska. That's his second, but the foul comes before the shot.
Pierre-Lewis was posting up. Galaska was behind him, trying to hold his ground, take the charge, and they called a block on him.
An outstanding first period for the Bulldogs. They lead it 19-6 with 1:58 to go in the first quarter of play. Davis looking, right corner to Grant. Devon Grant on that right sideline to the baseline, fires it on the baseline at the opposite side. Now they get it out front to Whitehead. His 3, big bounce, no good. Rebound Hannah. The Titans cannot buy a bucket. 6 free throws here in the quarter. At the other end, spinning is DFin, and he traveled with the basketball, and Austin knew it.
Tell you, Tim, if we had a shot chart sitting here from us, Olmsted Falls hit the 1-3. All the other ones have been layups. Lorain has shot a bunch of threes. They got to get the ball inside.
19-6 Bulldogs. District final here at Elyria Catholic. Devon Grant for Lorain High, double teamed in the backcourt. Gets himself up the right sideline, and his pass knocked out of bounds by Gavin Dietrich. Here comes Higginbotham back in for Olmsted Falls, replacing DFin. And now John Rossitano says, I'm going to get Deontay Benajan back in. Cam Davis will take a seat. Whitehead at the half-court line, lobs it in the backcourt to Devon Grant. Grant through the center circle. And now we've got an official timeout. There was a little piece of debris out on the floor. And so we'll do the inbounding here on the opposite side. So something ended up out on the floor. And they halt play for a moment, so here we go again. Inbounds goes to Devon Grant. Lorain just looks out of sync.
Now Lorain's going to their spread offense. Try to get into the paint a little bit here.
Grant out near the half-court line. 19-6, Titans down by 13. Tavon Pierre-Lewis against Gavin Dietrich. Tavon left of the lane, and he got his shot blocked by Dietrich. Out of there with it, Higginbotham, but he threw it for Hannah and threw it too far out of bounds. Boy, not too often that Tavon Pierre-Lewis has one swatted back. Great play by Gavin Dietrich, the 6'4 senior. Whitehead for Lorain, lobs it in the backcourt to Deontay Benajan. Benajan stutter steps into the forecourt. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Lorain down by 13. 19-6 Bulldogs. Benajan on the right wing. Pulls up, shoots, missed it. Rebound, loose, battle, jump ball. And what do we got? Possession arrow. Will belong to Olmsted Falls. 42.3 on the clock. Here comes Jordan Jackson back in, 6'4 junior. Jordan's football coach at Lorain High. Dave McFarland stopped by to pay us a visit before the ball game. How about Dave doing yoga now?
He's feeling good.
Says he feels great. Of course, as he's telling us he's doing yoga, I'm eating a cookie.
An extensive yoga at that, not just regular yoga.
Bulldog basketball, 30 seconds to go first quarter. Out front, Chuck Backus. Backus had it knocked into the backcourt. No over and back as he goes back and gets it. Got it out front to Higginbotham. Higginbotham bounces it down low. Pass stolen away by Benajan. Benajan for Lorain. Heads to the other end. Drives. Missed the shot. Rebound grab by Higginbotham. A lid on the bucket for Lorain. Into the forecourt. Hannah. Hannah with a stutter step. Scoop. Missed. Fouled on a dunk by Dietrich. Dietrich hammered it home, and at the other end, Benajan drives and scores at the buzzer. Benajan with Lorain High's first field goal at the first quarter buzzer. Dietrich before that with the dunk. Wow. 21-8, Bulldogs by 13 at the end of one on the WEOL Tournament Cage matchup on AM 930 on your phone with the app. Troy Online.
At WEOL.com.
We make Marines who overpower the desire to quit with the perseverance to prevail. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
Inspiring city and campus. Inspiring people. Inspiring creativity. Inspiring hands-on learning. Inspiring global experiences. Inspiring traditions. Be a Buckeye. Inspire.
21-8 Bulldogs as we head to the second quarter. Troy, what'd you see in the first 8 minutes?
Great team defense by Olmsted Falls and breaking Lorain's pressure on the offensive end, leading to layups. 18 of their 21 points were in the paint. They hit 1 3-ball.
21-8 Lorain basketball as we start the second quarter of play. Boy, that bucket by Benejan at the very end of the quarter was the final, or the first field goal of the game for Lorain High, and they start the second quarter. They get a layup from Jordan Jackson, and Jackson fouled on the play.
Pierre Lewis finally got the ball into the paint, got a guy to help, got a nice pass over to Jordan Jackson, gets an and one.
And Gavin Dietrich picked up that foul. That's his first. Jordan Jackson down at the other end of the floor. First free throw up and good. Makes it 21-11. So Lorain back to within 10. The Dietrich dunk actually made it a 15-point ball game for just a couple of seconds. Driving the baseline, Backus put it up. No! Rebound, fought for, scramble. Out of there with it, Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Got it ahead to Deontay Benejan. Benejan into the forecourt, ball knocked out of his hands. Dietrich has it for Olmsted Falls. His pass deflected, tip, and grabbed by Falls. Hannah 3. Nobody got fouled on the shot, and Hannah will shoot 3 free throws. That foul on Lorain High.
Davis
Was called on Cam Davis. That's the first foul on the Titans. And that's going to put Eric Hanna at the free throw line, shooting 3. Hanna, 6'1" senior, 5 points in the ball game, had a field goal and a 3-point bomb in the first quarter. 73% free throw shooter, first one up and in. Hey, we got a special shout out going out. John Rossitano's sister, Diane, listening out in California, as she always does. John's dad and Diane's dad, Bruno, said make sure you give Diane a great big shout out. Second free throw is good. And Hannah has one more coming. Coming up at the half, we'll have our Lorain County Community College halftime show. Bruno said if I gave Diane a long enough shout out, he would actually pay for it like a commercial. But Bruno, will see how it goes. Hannah hit all 3, 24-11. 13-point lead for the Bulldogs. Ball skips by Grant in the backcourt, and John Rossitano took a 30-second timeout. That was close to being a 10-second call. Boy, the Lorain High Titans just appear out of sorts. They're not in rhythm at all.
They're frustrated, and you know, like I said, Olmsted Falls defensively, they are packing it in the paint, making it very difficult for Lorain to get in there, and you know, Lorain's taking some bad shots because of it.
24-11, Olmsted Falls by 13. 7:08 to go here in the first half of play. Coming up at the intermission, we'll have our Lorain County Community College halftime show brought to you by LCCC. Lorain High, the last Lorain County team, girls or boys, to be alive on the tournament trail. Jackson in the backcourt, gave it off to Devon Grant. Grant up the right side, fires in the corner, and it went off the hands of Cam Davis, out of bounds. So the turnover gives it back to Olmsted Falls. The Bulldogs have been impressive here in the first quarter and 1 minute of the second period. They're up 24-11. Here comes Backus. Bounce on the left side to Hannah. Cross-court pass to Fritz. He'll shoot a 3 and hit it. Michael Fritz with his first points of the night. 27-11. 16-point lead. Pierre Lewis with a runner in the lane. That's good. Davon Pierre Lewis with his first 2. Makes it 27-13. A lot of basketball still to be played here at Elyria Catholic. Higginbotham on the left sideline. Higginbotham guarded by Jordan Jackson. Bounces it down low to Dietrich. Dietrich underneath the hoop, laid it up, missed it. Rebound grab by Jordan Jackson for Lorain High. Jackson to the forecourt. Jackson on the left wing will pull up, shoot, and threw up an air ball. Rebound grab by Eric Hanna. Hanna gave it off to Gavin Dietrich. Dietrich ahead to Hannah. Hannah on the left wing. Hannah gets by Davis. Drive shot blocked by Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Out of there with it, Benejan. Benejan to the other end. The runner, no good. Rebound, Dietrich. 5:50 to go in the half. Bulldog basketball and a 14-point lead. Out front, Backus. Swings it left side to Higginbotham. Out front to Hannah. Hannah, right of the lane to Dietrich. Dietrich with his back to the basket, hands it off to Backus. Backus back out to the top of the circle. Out front to Ryan Higginbotham, back to Backus. Backus around a Dietrich pick. Backus drives, shot blocked. Rebound put back up, no good. Rebound grabbed by Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis to the forecourt, behind his back on the dribble, into the lane. Fed it in the right corner to Cam Davis. Davis fumbled it, got it back to Devon Grant. Grant left of the lane, up, no. Rebound grabbed by Cam Davis, and then Davis is fouled on the baseline. And that's going to put Olmsted Falls over the limit. And wow, we got a bottle thrown out onto the floor. And I think we're going to have a fan ejected. And they're looking to see who it was. We had a plastic bottle thrown out onto the floor.
Eric Hanna's going to pick up that foul.
So Hannah picked up the foul. That'll be 2 on Hannah. And in the meantime, they're trying to determine off to our right who the complete idiot was that threw a bottle out there. So here's Cam Davis at the free throw line, shooting 1-1. Cam, a 69% free throw shooter, down at the other end. Again, we want to thank Joe Bach from WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television, tapping into our audio feed tonight. As Cam Davis hits the front end of the 1-1 to make it 27-14. Cam with that blue number 11 on the back of his white uniform. Left-hander sends it up. Big bounce, no good. Rebound, Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Up, good, and foul! Tavon Pierre-Lewis with a chance for a three-point play. And just like that, it's down to 11.
Nice offensive rebound off that missed free throw.
That foul.
Eric Hanna
was
second.
I'm not sure because I already had him for two. As Tavon Pierre-Lewis rattles in the free throw. Timeout taken by Chris D'Alicio. So Lorain was down 16. They've cut it to 10. 27-17, a 30-second timeout. They actually called that one on Austin Steffen. So Steffen picked up that foul for the Bulldogs.
So Pierre-Lewis getting active here on the glass for the Titans, trying to get them going here a little bit.
Well, you can see the emphasis has been to get the ball down in that low block.
Yeah, like I said, early in that first quarter, it's fine if you're shooting a bunch of threes if they're falling, but if they're not falling, you got to do something else, and they started getting the ball inside a little bit, and it's helped them here in this second quarter.
So Chris D'Alicio takes his first timeout. Bulldogs have seen their 16-point lead cut to 10. Another special shout out we got to pass along. I understand Dennis Shaver is listening out in Arizona. He's out in Arizona for spring training. His buddies Joe Kazura and George Corey say, Dennis, you have lost your seat. You're done. How do you plan a trip to Arizona during district final week? Dennis Shaver, my. Well, hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast. Off the timeout, Higginbotham in the left corner, got it out front to Austin Steffen. Steffen at the top of the circle. Steffen got it behind him to Higginbotham, swings it right side to Fritz. Fritz right in front of the Lorain bench. His pass deflected into the backcourt, but Tavon Pierre-Lewis couldn't track it down. Aiden Brown has checked back in for Lorain High, as has Aaron Whitehead. 4:42 to go, first half of play. Gavin Dietrich will now check back in for Olmsted Falls, as taking a seat. And let's see who that is. Is that Fritz? No, actually, that was Eastman. Kevin Eiselman. Or Eisman, excuse me, Kevin Eisman. So he had come in for a very brief spell, and now he's back on the bench. Olmsted Falls with the basketball and a 10-point lead. Steffen looking. Steffen against Brown, and he fumbled it out of bounds. It went off Steffen's fingers.
Lorain picking up that defensive intensity a little bit. Their pressure getting some turnovers now instead of creating layups.
Here comes Jordan Jackson back in for Lorain High. And now they're saying he can't check in.
He's saying he just ran out on the floor.
So now we're going to have a conversation amongst the officials. John Rossitano was motioning sub, but I guess Jordan didn't actually check at the table. So now he's got to sit there for a couple of moments. Inbounds to Devon Grant. Titans down by 10. Grant into backcourt, gets by 2 defenders. Grant, right of the lane, leans in, put it up, no. The rebound tipped high in the air. Grant got it back. Right to the key, jumper, good! Devon Grant. His first field goal makes it 27-19. Lorain within 8. They trailed by as many as 16. They've rattled off 8 straight. Into the forecourt comes Fritz. In the corner to Backus. Backus against Cam Davis. Shot it out front to Steffen. Steffen at the top of the key. And Tavon Pierre-Louis, perhaps?
I think they're going to get Whitehead.
Yep. Aaron Whitehead picks up that foul.
Fritz tried to cut back door, and Whitehead grabbed a hold of him.
Only the second team foul on Lorain, both here in the second quarter. Lorain has rattled off 8 straight points. They're within 8. That's right. If you're just joining us, Olmsted Falls led by 16 points in this second quarter. And Dietrich fumbles the inbounds pass out of bounds. Now the Lorain fans starting to get back into it. They were pretty quiet for a while. Here comes Benajan back in for Lorain High. Aiden Brown will take a seat.
You create turnovers, you get the fans and your team back in the game.
Grant just hit a field goal, and now in the backcourt, a blocking foul called on Chuck Backus, who tried to step in front of Devon Grant. Backus picks up his first, and all the way down to the other end of the floor will go Devon Grant to shoot 1 and 1.
It's one of those fouls we talk about all the time, 70 feet from the basket. Why foul them there when they're in their bonus? Let alone Grant, who's 86% free throw shooter.
Yep. So here's Devon Grant. 4 points tonight, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Down at the other end, front end of the 1 and 1 is up and in.
I can't believe he's only 86% free throw shooter. All the games I've seen him play last year and this year, I think I've seen him miss 2 free throws.
Well, we've seen him in big games.
And
big-time players step up. Doesn't get any bigger than this game. Well, it does if you advance to next week or the following week, but Devon Grant hit them both. 10 straight by Lorain. Grant now with 6, and it's down to 6. 27-21. Well, you knew Lorain High was going to make a run, and they've done it here in the second quarter. Long pass down the floor, open and scoring is Michael Fritz. They ran that play beautifully. 29-21, Bulldogs lead back to 8. Right of the lane, the driving shot put up, no good by Jordan Jackson. Rebound grabbed by Gavin Dietrich. Dietrich for Olmsted Falls into the forecourt. Down the left side to Galaska, brings it that was Higginbotham, all the way out front to Backus. Backus bouncing between the circles to Gavin Dietrich. Dietrich, right side, Galaska. 3-ball, no, and a foul is called on another 3-ball attempt. And I believe they're going to get Tavon Pierre-Louis with that one. John Rossitano saying Galaska threw that leg out.
Yeah. When they throw that leg out, refs sometimes just anticipate that call.
So 3 free throws for Braden Galaska. And he hits the first. He's a 62% free throw shooter. Galaska right down below us. And now John arguing his point to the second official as Eric Hanna will check back in. Backus will sit down. So Galaska will try to make it 2 out of 3. His third free throw short, rebound Tavon Pierre-Louis. So it's a 30-21 ball game. Left side of the forecourt, Devon Grant. Grant holding the ball above his head. 3:10 to go. Lob out front to Jordan Jackson. Jackson directing traffic. Top side to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. 3 minutes to go in the half. Tavon Pierre-Lewis, lob to Devon Grant. Grant fires right side to Whitehead. Whitehead on the right sideline. Back out front to Devon Grant. Titans down by 9. Grant stutter steps on the dribble. Right side. Whitehead 3. Nope. Rebound grab by Olmsted Falls. Here comes Galaska. Galaska left side to Fritz. Bounce down low to Dietrich. Back out front to Galaska to Hannah. Back to Galaska. Shovels it out front to Hannah. Hannah with 2.5 minutes to go. In between the circles to Dietrich. Bounce down low and a driving Fritz laid it in. 32-21. The lead back to 11 for Olmsted Falls.
Olmsted Falls into a 1-3-1.
Tavon Pierre-Lewis in the right corner. Lob out front to Deontay Benajan. Benajan near the half-court line. Benajan on the left-hand dribble. Benajan in between the circles. Top side to Devon Grant. 2 minutes on the clock. Grant in the right corner to Whitehead. Whitehead on the baseline. Cut off. Got it underneath Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Laid it up and in. Tavon Pierre-Lewis makes it 32-23. At the other end, Fritz in between the circles to Higginbotham. Higginbotham out front to Dietrich. Quickly on the left side to Galaska. Galaska around a Dietrich pick. Right corner to Higginbotham. Higginbotham against Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Higginbotham drives the baseline. Got his shot blocked, but Higginbotham got it back. Threw it out front. Ball comes free. Out of there with the Devon Grant to the other end. Laid it up and in. Devon Grant makes it 32-25. Bulldogs by 7. 1:20 to go. Galaska left side Higginbotham, and he fell out of bounds. Yep, Higginbotham fell out of bounds. Lorain gets it back with 1:16 to go.
Lorain looking for one of their patented spurts here.
Well, again, now we've got all sorts of substitutions at the scorer's table, and the officials are saying you can't check in right here. Well, wait a minute. 2 Bulldogs just checked in.
When the Lorain kid runs out onto the floor without checking in at the table, this official's not letting him in the game. He's making him sit till the next one.
All right. But Backus checks in and Steffen checks in for the Bulldogs. Titan basketball. They're down by 7. Bulldogs led by as many as 16. Grant gave it off to Jordan Jackson. Jackson lob in the left corner to Benajan. Tried to float it down low. Ball deflects out of bounds off Gavin Dietrich. And now Cam Davis will check in for Lorain High as Whitehead will take a seat. 59 seconds to go in the first half. Again at the intermission, our Lorain County Community College halftime show. Tavon Pierre-Lewis, right of his own basket, lobs out front to Jordan Jackson. Jackson gave it on the right sideline to Devon Grant. 3-ball way short. Rebound Gavin Dietrich. Oh, nothing but oxygen on that one for Devon. Dietrich in the backcourt looking for some help. And what do we got?
Benajan holding Fritz, trying to get open.
Benajan called with the foul. First on Deontay Benajan for Lorain High, their 4th team foul. So no free throws for Olmsted Falls. Hannah back in. So Chris Delicio says, I want my sharpshooter back out on the floor. 45.2 on the clock. Olmsted Falls, they've come to play tonight. They're up by 7. Fritz, left side to Braden Galaska. Galaska in between the circles to Higginbotham. Right wing to Fritz, tried to throw it down low, threw it right to Jordan Jackson. Jackson up the right side for Lorain High. Jackson to the baseline. Jordan under the hoop, got it out front to Benajan. Benajan whipped it in the lane to Lewis, and he fumbled it. Out of there with it comes Hannah. Hannah to the forecourt. Hannah swings it left side, Galaska. Wide open 3. No, had too long to shoot it. Out of there with the Devon Grant. Grant to the forecourt, and he got fouled from behind by Higginbotham. They're going to put Grant back at the free throw line. Well, we got another shout out to pass along. Our buddy Rick Russo, listening out in Las Vegas, Sin City. So here's Devon Grant. Rick Russo rooting for the Titans tonight.
Or give a shout out to my wife and daughter who are here listening to it on the mobile app.
Here's Stephon Grant shooting 2. First one up, rattled it in. And again, for those of you who will want to watch this at some point, WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. Joe Bach down to our left, right at that half-court stripe, taking in all the action. Boy, check out their YouTube page. It's incredible. Grant hit them both. So Lorain has cut it to 5. Bulldogs playing for the final shot into the forecourt. Comes Galaska. Bounced it to Dietrich. Dietrich got knocked down, and the buzzer sounds to end the first half of play. Olmsted Falls trying to pull the upset. The Bulldogs leading by 5 at the intermission, 32-27, but Lorain High has cut it to 5 after trailing by 16. We got a ball game here at the Coliseum at Elyria Catholic High School.
Sergeant Michelle Garcia served meritoriously in Iraq and has the medals to prove it. Soon after leaving the Navy, Lieutenant Chris Scott found a job, a home, and started a family of his own. Corpsman Richard Stokely took the skills he learned in Vietnam and put them to good use as a paramedic. But soon after leaving the military, each of these veterans fell on hard times and faced homelessness. Even after Michelle lost all her savings, even after Chris wasn't able to pay his mortgage, and even after Richard battled alcoholism for years, they each reached out for help when they needed it most. A simple phone call put them in touch with a trained professional from the Department of Veterans Affairs. That call got Michelle a place to stay until she could afford one of her own, put Chris in touch with employment assistance, and found Richard a substance abuse program. These veterans are success stories not only for how they were able to help others while serving their country, but for how they were able to let others help them. If you know of or are a veteran in need, make the call.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
For too many parents, a baby's first steps aren't just a milestone. They're a miracle. A miracle made possible by volunteers like you, who walk and raise money in March for Babies. Sign up today to take the steps that help make milestones and even miracles possible. Who will you march for?
Stop. Whether it's on the way to school, at school, or online, bullying has become a non-stop threat to our youth today. Is your child being bullied? The National Runaway Switchboard can help. If you're having a hard time, get online or call to chat now.
For the thousands of wounded warriors returning from battle, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a unique program that helps wounded warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. The Warriors to Work program also works with employers to find the right job for the right warrior. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Tim Elkhorn, Troy DeFranco, as we welcome you back to Elyria Catholic High School. Two teams concluding their halftime warm-ups. Hope Falls up by 5, 32-27. Troy, what'd you see in the first 2 quarters, and what might happen here in the second half in this D1 district final?
Tell you what, Olmsted Falls played great, especially in the half-court defense. Most of Lorain's points came off of free throws, some fast break points, and offensive rebounds. But in the actual half-court defense, Olmsted Falls mixed it up well. Played some man, played some 1-3-1. And if you hold Grant to 2 field goals in the first half, you're doing something right defensively.
So what might happen here in the second half?
I think you know, Lorain, like I said earlier, they're going to try to keep the defensive pressure up and wear Olmsted Falls down. Try to create those turnovers for easy offense. But in that second quarter, when Lorain was successful, they were taking it to the rim. That's why they got to the free throw line, and they got some easier buckets.
All right, here we go. Our halftime show brought to you by Lorain County Community College. Second half about to get underway. Galaska will inbound for the Bulldogs as Braden throws it in the backcourt to Ryan Higginbotham. Bulldog basketball, they go right to left here in the second half of play, heading towards their own bench. Gavin Dietrich, right side to Fritz, back out front Dietrich. He'll shoot a three. He'll hit a three. Gavin Dietrich knocks in a long ball to start the second half, and it's 35-27. Bulldogs by 8. Lorain heading towards us here in the second half of play. Grant left of the lane, pulls up, shoots, hung it down the rim, no good. Rebound Galaska for Olmsted Falls. Gave it off to Fritz, right back to Galaska. Fires it down the floor. Hannah left corner three, missed it. Rebound tap, but grabbed by the Bulldogs. Fritz in the right corner against Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Fritz out front to Gavin Dietrich. Dietrich looking. Dietrich against Grant in the left corner to Fritz. Fritz comes around a pick into the lane. The runner is good. 5 quick points to start the second half, and it's 37-27. Lewis in the backcourt. Shoves it to Jordan Jackson. Jackson into the forecourt in between the circles to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. A little bit of a stutter step, comes down the lane, and he laid it in. He had the ball knocked out of his hands, got it back, popped it home. 37-29. Hannah double teamed in the backcourt. Hannah got it over to Galaska, fires it down the floor to Higginbotham, right of the lane, and a foul is called on Jordan Jackson as he reached in on Michael Fritz. Jordan Jackson picks up his first. Boy, an interesting number for Michael Fritz. He's a starter on this team. He has shot 6 free throws all year. 3 of 6 from the line.
He's mostly a three-point shooter.
So Fritz down at the other end sends it up, and he swishes it. Fritz now with 10.
But that time, Olmsted Falls breaking Lorain's press without ever dribbling.
38-29, 6.5 minutes to go. Third quarter of play. We're here at EC. Fritz hit them both. Well, Michael Fritz has had a nice game, 11 points. 39-29, Bulldogs by 10. Devon Grant lob out front to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis in the center circle. Lewis top of the key. Lewis in the corner to Benajan. 3 ball off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound Devon Grant. Left hand, spun it home. And Devon Grant with a dozen. Makes it 39-31. Lorain with pressure in the backcourt. Fritz got it to Galaska. Shoots it ahead to Dietrich. And he overshot his target, but it's grabbed left wing. Higginbotham. 3 ball in and out. Rebound grabbed by Cam Davis quickly to Devon Grant. Grant up the left side. Grant left of the lane, in the lane, put it up, no rebound. Dietrich. Grant ended up on the seat of his pants. Into the forecourt. Dietrich right side to Hannah. Top side Fritz. 3 ball up and good. Fritz hit a 3 ball. 42-31, Bulldogs by 11. Left side of the forecourt, Benajan. Benajan, left of the lane, tough shot, no good. Rebound grab by Dietrich. Dietrich, long pass, down the floor, Galaska. Thought about the 3, comes into the lane, right side to Hannah. Hannah on the right sideline for the Bulldogs. Hannah at the 3-point arc, in the corner to Dietrich. Dietrich matched up against Grant. Dietrich, baseline right, bounce in the lane to a wide open Galaska, who laid it up and in. And the lead is back to 13 for Olmsted Falls.
Bulldogs putting on a passing clinic right now.
Left side of the forecourt, Devon Grant. Out front to Benajan, fires in the left corner to Cam Davis. Davis looking, bounces it down low. Leaning in, Jackson got his shot blocked by Dietrich. Bounces it down the floor to Higginbotham. Higginbotham up, no, but foul. 4:48 to go. Higginbotham heading to the free throw line to shoot 2. That foul on Lorain High. Not sure, I think it was Grant. And he got Devon Grant with that foul. First free throw up, in and out for Higginbotham. And he'll get Whitehead in for Lorain High.
Boy, the Bulldogs have come out at halftime the way they started the game.
They've put Lorain High in a 13-point hole. Second free throw, good by Higginbotham. And it's 45-31. Bulldogs by 14. Tavon Pierre-Lewis, left sideline to Benejan, back out front to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis's pass deflected, grabbed by Cam Davis, fires in the corner to Benejan, left wing jumper, nope. Rebound Galaska. Grant stole the ball. Devon got it back for Lorain High. Grant out front, Grant into the lane, up, no, but foul. Devon Grant realizing Lorain needs points right now. Took it right to the bucket.
You get Braden Galaska on that one.
So Galaska picks up his third foul.
What a play by Grant on that, because Galaska got that rebound, and there was a Bulldog ahead of the pack, nobody out there. He tried to pass it ahead, and Grant just tipped that from behind before he could make that pass, got the steal.
4:24 to go. Lorain down by 14. Devon Grant right down below us. Grant now 7 of 7 from the line tonight as he hits the first. Galaska out, Backus in. 45-32. Devon Grant, considered to be a candidate for Ohio Mr. Basketball. Just having a phenomenal senior year. Basically put the Titans on his shoulders last year and brought them to the Final Four in Columbus. Again, they're wiping up perspiration off the floor. Just a packed house here at EC. Grant, second one good. And Grant with 14 makes it 45-33. Bulldogs by a dozen. Up the right side, Fritz. Fritz into the right corner, feeds in the lane. Shot up, no, but Grant fouled Backus. And Devon has picked up 2. That'll put Backus at the free throw line. Chuck Backus, 6-foot senior, averages 6 points per game. Comes off the bench for Chris Delisio. He's a 55% free throw shooter. Backus down at the other end of the floor, looking right into that Bulldog student section, decked out in all white. Backus good on the first. He's got 3. 46-33. 4:14 to go. Third quarter of play. Well, it's like a girls' game. All of a sudden, the gym got quiet on a free throw. Second one up, no good. Rebound, Whitehead. 46-33. Here comes Lorain, down by 13. Devon Grant, left side to Whitehead. Whitehead fakes the pass and stays on the dribble. 4 minutes to go, third quarter. We're halfway through the third period. Davis in the right corner. Grant, 3 ball, got it! Devon Grant dialed up long distance and knocked it home. And it's 46-36. Grant now is 17. I think he realizes it's time. Backus bounces it underneath. Higginbotham laid it up and in. Higginbotham makes it 48-36.
Against that 1-3-1, the corner's usually what's open for the 3, and that's where they have Grant now.
Tavon Pierre-Lewis gave it in the corner to Davis. His 3, in and out. The rebound grab by Higginbotham. Got it to Fritz. Fritz in the backcourt, bounces it back to Higginbotham. 3:20 to go. Higginbotham down the floor to Fritz. Fritz in the left corner, Dietrich. Thought about the 3. Now fires it underneath, and the ball deflects off the hands of Backus out of bounds.
Backus was open, but that was a bullet.
Yeah. So that'll get Jordan Jackson back in for Lorain High. They're down by a dozen. O'Falls led by 5 at the half. And now their lead is 12. 3:10 to go. Third quarter. Aaron Whitehead, 5'9" junior, into the forecourt for Lorain High. Whitehead at the three-point arc on the right side. Whitehead now backs up on the dribble and on the weave, hands it off to Devon Grant. Grant with under 3 minutes to go. Grant against Higginbotham. Right corner, Jackson, 3. Nope. Rebound Whitehead, though. Whitehead in traffic. Up, no. Tipped up, no. Tipped up, and in by Tavon Pierre-Lewis. He just kept tipping it, and he finally got it to fall. 48-38. Ball loose at the half-court line. Out of there with it, Backus. Feeds left side, Hanna. Open 3. Nothing but net for Eric Hanna. Timeout taken by Olmsted Falls. Boy, you can't leave him open for a millisecond.
Cam Davis is on him so hard tonight, but when he gets just a fraction of a area, he is putting that thing up and knocking them down.
Hannah with 2 3 balls tonight, 11 points overall. He now has 69 3 balls on the year. 30-second timeout taken by Olmsted Falls. We're keeping it right here. 2:31 to go, third quarter of play. Bulldogs have stretched it back to 13 at 51-38. And boy, that pressure now mounts on Lorain High.
It sure does. You know, in Olmsted Falls, most of this quarter and into the second quarter and into this quarter, they've been in that 1-3-1, but they're cheating to where Grant is. But I liked it when Coach Rossitano got Grant into the corner, because in 1-3-1, that bottom guy's got to go corner to corner. You get better looks in the corner, and that's why you're seeing so many corner threes. They got to keep Grant down there, I believe. 2.5
minutes to go in the third. Well, the Bulldog fans are loving it. Olmsted Falls up by 13 in this district championship game. Off the Bulldog timeout. Here comes Whitehead into the forecourt for Lorain High. Gave it to Jackson, right back to Whitehead. Whitehead near the half-court line. Aaron Whitehead for Lorain High. Cross-court pass to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. 3-ball, no. Rebound grab by Fritz. Quick outlet pass to Backus. Backus left wing to Gavin Dietrich. Dietrich matched up against Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Got it out front to Backus. Backus against Whitehead. Now they give it off to Hannah. Hannah top side against Whitehead. Hannah to Dietrich, down the right side to Fritz. Fritz on the right sideline, spins to the baseline. Fritz comes underneath the basket, lost it, out of there with it Whitehead. Got it to Benajan, left wing to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis in the lane, up, in and foul! Oh, I thought they were going to call a travel on Tavon, but he has a chance for an and one.
They kind of took that little hop step to the middle. And I agree. I thought they were going to call a travel also. But they're going to say he landed on both feet. You take that jump stop and you don't 1-2 it, you're okay.
The foul is on Gavin Dietrich, his second. So here's Tavon Pierre-Lewis with a chance to get Lorain back to within 10. Tavon right down below us, sends the free throw on its way, missed it. Rebound grab by Backus. 51-40. Backus into the forecourt. Backus right down the lane, and he fell down. Oh, they're going to call a foul on that? Oh, he just slipped down. And I don't know if it's on Devon Grant. Wow. Well, boy, I don't know about that. They called that on Devon Grant.
Wow, he was falling before there was any contact. Looked like he twisted his ankle.
Third foul on Devon Grant. Boy, John Rossitano can't believe that one. So again, they're going to wipe up the perspiration on the floor. We saw this down at Mansfield Madison earlier today. So Grant now with 3 for Lorain High. And that's the 4th team foul on the Titans. 51-40, Bulldogs by 11. The inbounds goes to Gavin Dietrich. Dietrich shoots it out front to Fritz. Back on the left side to Hannah. Hannah gave it to Dietrich, right back to Hannah. Hannah stutter steps to the baseline, gave it in the corner to Fritz. Fritz left of the lane, shoots it out front to Higginbotham, right back to Fritz. 1:20 on the clock. Fritz gave it to Dietrich, his pass deflected and stolen away. What a job by Jackson. Got it to Whitehead. Whitehead into the forecourt, left wing to Grant. 3-ball on the way, right there for Devon Grant. He's got 20, and it's 51-43. And now we got a foul in the backcourt. We got that one on Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Tavon applying that pressure defense.
Tried to steal that inbounds pass. Got a little arm.
Well, Devon Grant has come to life here in the third quarter. He's got 10 in the quarter, 20 overall. 51-43, Lorain back to within 8. Lorain has never led in the ball game. Higginbotham in the backcourt. Gave it to Backus, right back to Higginbotham. Under a minute to go. Higginbotham up the left side against Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Got it out front to Dietrich. Cross-court pass to Backus. Backus right at the half-court line. Comes around a Dietrich pick. Down the left side to Fritz. Out front to Dietrich. 45 seconds to go. Fed it underneath. Higginbotham got his shot blocked by Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Loose ball grabbed by Higginbotham. Left side Dietrich. Dietrich at the three-point arc. Shoved it out front to Higginbotham. Higginbotham works to the left wing. Higginbotham being chased. Left of the lane, Dietrich. Fall away shot. Short. Rebound grab by Jackson. Jackson to the forecourt for Lorain High. Jackson into the lane. Up! No, but fouled. And Jordan Jackson will shoot 2 with 23.6 on the clock.
Great job by Lorain getting that rebound and getting it down in the floor in a hurry.
They got that one on Gavin Dietrich. That's 3 on Dietrich. Here's Jackson at the free throw line. Jordan Jackson, 6'4" junior, averages 10 per game. Right down below us, first one up, in, hand out. Jackson, a 65% free throw shooter. Lead stays at 8 for Olmsted Falls, 51-43. Grant will come out of the ball game with those 3 fouls.
Good move. 23 seconds to go. You want to pick up with that 4th foul.
Jordan Jackson, one more coming. In and out. Missed them both. A rebound grab by Dietrich. Got it to Steffen, who's checked in. Steffen threw an elbow to clear Cam Davis. Nothing called. Top side to Fritz. Bulldogs by 8. Fritz on the left wing with 10 on the clock. Fritz bouncing between the circles to Steffen. And they'll call a reach-in foul on Jordan Jackson. And Jackson picks up his second. 6.9 on the clock. That's the 16th foul on Lorain. So for the remainder of the ball game, Olmsted Falls is heading to the free throw line. They will inbound here at the half-court line. Hannah will throw it in for the Bulldogs. Hannah looking. Got it into Steffen. Steffen with 5 on the clock. Top side to Dietrich. 3 on the clock. Dietrich hands it off to Hannah. Desperation 3 off the backboard. Nope. That ends the third. 8 minutes of basketball remain. It's an 8-point lead for Olmsted Falls. 51-43. The Bulldogs leading Lorain in the WEOL tournament cage matchup on AM 930 and Troy Online.
WEOL.com.
Opportunities present themselves every day. Opportunities that move us forward. Opportunities to serve part-time in your community while continuing their full-time careers or education to help keep our nation safe at home and around the globe. Explore your opportunities in the Air Force Reserve.
With the basketball as we start the 4th quarter of play. They are down by 8. Cam Davis in between the circles. Left sideline to Jackson. Whipped it down low to an open Benajan, who laid it up and in. That makes it 51-45. The Titans back to within 6. Hannah will bring it forward against Cam Davis. And again, from here on out, the Bulldogs will be shooting free throws. And now Hannah had nowhere to go. Timeout taken. Olmsted Falls, a full timeout. We'll take a break. 7:24 to go, 4th quarter. Bulldogs by 6, 51-45 over Lorain in the WEOL tournament cage matchup.
Every year, the Salvation Army serves nearly 30 million people in need. That's one person every second. So by the time you've finished watching this, 30 more lives will have been changed for good. All thanks to your donations.
Thank you.
So Olmsted Falls now down to 2 timeouts, and their lead is down to 6, 51-45. The Bulldogs leading Lorain High, and before a capacity crowd in this D1 district final. Left wing, Braden Galaska. Got it down low to Dietrich. Dietrich bounces it underneath the Higginbotham. He bobbled it, picked it back up, works to the right sideline. Gave it to Fritz, right back to Higginbotham. Higginbotham, top side to Gavin Dietrich. Dietrich in the right corner to Fritz. Fritz being chased, top side to Higginbotham, back to Fritz. Fritz against Benejan. Ooh, a pick by Dietrich, knocked down Benejan, and the foul will be called on Gavin Dietrich. That'll be 4 on Gavin Dietrich. Boy, that was a bruising pick. Little bit of a flop there from Benejan, but wow, that was a tough screen right there by Dietrich.
I'd like to see the replay on that one.
Too much of a flop there, you think?
Yeah, I think there was some flopping going on there, but you know, that's 4 fouls on him. That's huge.
Dietrich has played well tonight, only 5 points, but boy, he's been battling on the boards. He's been tough. And again, every time a player goes down, they bring out the towel. It's a warm gymnasium. 51-45. Lorain down by 6 with the basketball. Just under 7 minutes to go. Into the forecourt, Devon Grant. Grant hesitates, left of the lane. He drives. He missed the layup. Rebound, Tavon Pierre-Louis. Lewis fouled by Hannah. And Hannah saying, I can't believe that. Eric Hannah just picked up his 3rd foul. And that puts Olmsted Falls at 5 team fouls.
Hannah thought he had a jump ball.
And now they're wiping the basketball off. There's a lot of moisture out there tonight.
Kids giving it all they got.
6-point lead for the Bulldogs. Titan basketball. 6:43 to go. Lorain the 1 seed at 23-1. The Bulldogs the 2 seed at 22-2. Great matchup, and it's been a great game. Jackson, right side to Tavon Pierre-Louis. Tavon right in front of the Lorain bench. Lewis fires left side. Jackson, 3. Nope. Rebound, Tavon Pierre-Louis muscled it up and rolled it in. Tavon Pierre-Louis makes it 51-47. Lorain within 4 and a lot of clock. 6:15 to go. Into the forecourt, Galaska. Galaska all the way to the bucket, laid it up, no good. Rebound grab by Johnson. Feeds it down the floor to Tavon Pierre-Louis. Lewis into the lane, up, no. And they'll call a charge on Tavon Pierre-Louis. 2nd foul on Tavon. Now again, Lorain's over the limit, but player control foul. So Olmsted Falls will not shoot free throws. Player control foul. Offensive call on Tavon Pierre-Louis.
That was Eric Hannah standing in there and taking that charge.
You're pretty brave if you take a charge with Tavon Pierre-Louis battling down the floor. It's a 4-point game with 6:07 to go. Boy, what a job by Chris Delicio and his staff and his team. And as we said in our pregame, they weren't going to back down. They have played tremendously well. Galaska to the left side. Galaska double teamed in front of the Olmsted Falls bench. Ball stolen away by Tavon Pierre-Louis. Lewis to the other end. He drives, he scores. Tavon went coast to coast. And it's 51-49. The Titans are within 2. And a foul at the half-court line. They had double teamed Backus. Ooh, is that on Devon Grant?
Yeah. Yes.
And that's 4 on Devon Grant.
Boy, he reached from behind on that. Again, on the other side of half court, got to be a little smarter than that with 3 fouls.
So they'll put Backus at the free throw line. Chuck Backus, 3 points in the ball game, with the Bulldogs up by 2. Down at the other end, front end up and in. Backus makes it 52-49. Backus with 1 more coming. Backus sends it up, got it. 2 big free throws from Chuck Backus. And it's 53-49. Grant playing with 4 fouls. Right wing, Grant, 3, in and out, rebound, Tavon Pierre-Louis, and he got fouled. Boy, he has stepped it up a notch here in the 4th quarter.
He is all over the glass. And let's not forget Dietrich on the bench there with those 4 fouls. He's been out there rebounding for Olmsted Falls. That's hurt them with him being on the bench, and Pierre Lewis taking advantage.
They got Higginbotham with that foul, his second. Lorain basketball down by 4. They lob it down low to Tavon Pierre Lewis. He's double teamed. Ball got free. Tavon got it back. Tavon had it knocked out of his hands, and out of there with it comes Hannah. Hannah hands it off to Galaska. Galaska into the forecourt, being chased by Benajan. Galaska spins away from Benajan in the left corner to Fritz. Fritz comes down the lane, scoop, bounced around the rim and in. And it's now 55-49. And at the other end, we've got a Titan player,
Benajan,
shaken up. Deontay Benajan.
Rolled his ankle,
down, and he is really in pain at the other end of the floor. And they're going to go out and take a look at Deontay Benajan. And a huge thank you goes out to Joe Bach, WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television, tapping into our audio feed tonight as he's done throughout the year on AM 930 WEOL. So you folks listening in Lorain will be able to watch this one relatively shortly. Joe Bach will get it up on TV 20 and, of course, the YouTube channel that Joe has created for WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. Just incredible. Not only all the sporting events, but Board of Education meetings and things in the city of Lorain. If you want to know what's happening in the city of Lorain, the YouTube WLCS TV 20 channel is terrific. Benajan is going to be slowly helped to his feet. And boy, he's in some pain. Deontay Benajan has 8 points tonight, 6-foot junior. He's going to walk very, very gingerly over to that Titan bench. Lorain had cut it down to 2. Falls with 4 straight points has pushed it back out to 6. 5:10 to go.
Gavin Diedrich coming back into the ball game with those 4 fouls.
Well, it's money time now.
Grant out there with 4 fouls. Diedrich out there with 4 fouls. 5:10 to go. District championship on the line.
Here we go. Into the forecourt comes Aaron Whitehead. Whitehead for Lorain High. Whitehead near the half-court line. Shovels it off to Jordan Jackson. Jackson in between the circles. Jackson, cross-court pass, left corner Davis. Got it out front to Jackson. Jackson at the three-point arc in between the circles to Whitehead. Whitehead out front to Jackson. Jackson left corner to Davis. He'll shoot a 3. And it went over the backboard out of bounds. Cam Davis misses a 3. Ball goes back to Olmsted Falls. 4:43 on the 4th quarter clock. After the ball game, our Eco Tree Services post-game show brought to you by Eco Tree Services. The winner will play in the Sweet 16 Thursday night down in Akron. 4.5 minutes left. A lot of basketball. Right now, the Bulldogs with the advantage. And the ball. Alaska out front. Hannah. Quick 3. That one's off the mark. Rebound, Tavon Pierre Lewis. Boy, he skied for that rebound. Lewis, left wing Grant. Devon for 3. No rebound. Grab by Lewis on the left wing. Lewis double teamed in the corner. Out front to Jackson. Foul line jumper, in and out. Rebound grab by Higginbotham. Got it off to Fritz. Under 4 minutes to go. Fritz down the left side to Dietrich. Dietrich top side to Higginbotham. Higginbotham in between the circles. Comes around a Dietrich pick. Higginbotham, right corner to Hannah. Hannah on the baseline against Davis. Hannah back out front to Higginbotham. Higginbotham bounce in between the circles to Dietrich. In the lane, layup is up and in by Galaska.
Great backdoor cut by Galaska and pass.
57-49, 6 straight by Olmsted Falls after Lorain had gotten it to 2. 3:25 to go. Jackson on the left wing. Jackson lob to Grant. Grant double teamed right corner to Whitehead. Lob out front to Jackson. Jackson at the top of the circle. Jackson lob in the right corner. Whitehead 3. No. Rebound grab by Dietrich. Got it to Fritz. Ahead to Galaska. To Fritz, down the floor, pass knocked out of bounds by a hustling Jordan Jackson. 3:04 to go, and Olmsted Falls with an 8-point lead. They have never trailed in this ball game.
Olmsted Falls doing, again, a great job in that 1-3-1, adjusting to where Grant is, not letting them get a good look. Other guys have to make shots.
Dietrich at the top of the circle. Boy, their passing has been precision tonight. Dietrich fires it out front, ball deflected, stolen by Cam Davis. Got it to Jackson. Jackson, run of the lane, leans in, bank shot, no good. Rebound, Dietrich. Outlet pass to Hannah. 2:40 to go. And now the Bulldog fans can sense it somewhat. They're up by 8. Galaska, left of the lane, hits the break, slipped down, right corner to Higginbotham. Higginbotham, right of the lane. Looking, got it to Dietrich. Dietrich with 2:25 on the clock. Bulldog basketball, and they lead it by 8. Hannah on the right wing. Hannah against Davis. Hannah spins away, wide open. Dietrich laid it up and in. And John Rossitano takes time. The Bulldog fans are up on their feet, and the Bulldogs are up by 10. 59-49, 2:14 to go. Full timeout Lorain on the WEOL Tournament Cage matchup on AM 930 and Troy Online.
At WEOL.com.
Hey, we missed you at the game last week. Is everything all right?
I just haven't been feeling like me lately.
You know I'm here for you, right?
That's a cut. Beautiful. Acting is one thing. Talking about suicide in real life is another.
In the military, you take challenges head on.
And now it's your turn to do the same for our veterans.
Be there.
Learn how you can start the conversation at BeThereForVeterans.com.
Well, it's going to take an incredible finish for Lorain High to keep their season alive. They're down 10. Left wing, Whitehead. Whitehead to the top of the key, gave it to Jackson. 3 is off the mark. Rebound, though, grabbed by Whitehead. Fed it underneath. Tavon Pierre-Lewis laid it up and in. Tavon Pierre-Lewis makes it 59-51 with just under 2 minutes to go. In the backcourt, Galaska fires it ahead to Higginbotham. Cross-court pass to Dietrich. Dietrich into the forecourt on the left wing. Dietrich against Lewis. Threw it in the lane. Hannah had it knocked out of his hands. Out of there with it, Cam Davis, and he's fouled in the backcourt. With 1:43 to go, Cam Davis will head to the other end and shoot 1-1. Davis split a pair back in the second quarter. So Cam Davis shooting 1-1. Benajan getting ready to check back in, so they've given that ankle a good rub down.
That Bulldog foul was on Galaska, his 4th.
Well, Braden now with 4 fouls. So here's Cam Davis right down below us. The front end is up and in. Cam Davis hits the first. That makes it 59-52. Well, Benajan had said he was in for the shooter. Now he checks in for Jordan Jackson. 59-52. I think Lorain's going to get a timeout if he hits the free throw. John talking to the official.
Both teams with 2 left.
Yes. Davis, second one, good. Well, no, he doesn't take the timeout. Makes it 59-53. Lorain with 4 quick points to get to within 6. Inbounds goes to Higginbotham. Higginbotham, lob in the backcourt to Galaska. Galaska with 1:36 on the clock, back to Higginbotham. Higginbotham into the forecourt against Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Higginbotham fed it to Galaska. Galaska now double team, bounce in the corner, driving, scoring. No, they'll call a charge on Higginbotham. A huge call right there. Higginbotham took it to the bucket, but they called a charge.
Aaron Whitehead stepping in and taking that charge for the Titans.
Well, there were Lorain fans that were filing out. And we're not quite over yet. Lorain with 4 straight points has gotten to within 6. And the Titans with the basketball with 1:24 to go. A lot of time on that clock. The Bulldogs were up by 10. Lorain has made it a 6-point game. Whitehead into the forecourt. Whitehead will shoot a 3. and it rolled off the rim, no good. Rebound, Galaska. Gave it off to Hannah. 1:12 on the clock. Hannah down the floor to Fritz, and he threw it into the right corner to Higginbotham, and a timeout taken by Chris D'Alicio. Timeout, Bulldogs. 1:07 to go. They've got the ball and a 6-point lead on the WEOL Tournament Cage matchup.
Ohio State is saving lives every day.
This is Ohio State.
We're the economic engine of the state. A major employer.
Over 60,000 students. We're on the forefront of cancer research. An educational core of Ohio.
Impacting tens of thousands daily. Our alumni organization is nearly 500,000 worldwide.
This is Ohio State.
This is Ohio State. Ohio State.
This is the Ohio State University.
I will be coming up on retirement, and the VA benefits will play a very important part in my life.
You may have earned valuable veterans benefits from your military service.
I decided that it was time to go to college and pursue my career.
I was able to buy this house.
Learn more about your eligibility, even how to apply online using e-benefits.
The VA benefits made a real difference in my life.
I wouldn't be where I am today if it hadn't been for my VA benefits.
Don't wait. Apply for your VA benefits today.
Bulldog basketball. They're trying to pull the upset. 59-53. They lead it. Hannah to inbound for Olmsted Falls. Hannah lob out front. Got it to Higginbotham. Left corner. 3 by Fritz. Air ball. Rebound. Dietrich. It's knocked out of his hand. Scramble in the paint. And a tie-up between Davis and a Bulldog. And the possession arrow belongs to Olmsted Falls. 58.8 on the clock, and again they're going to wipe up the floor as a couple of towels come out. A great big shout out to our buddy Jeff Toth, listening down in Florida tonight. Jeff Toth on the WEOL mobile app. Something tells me when we get the analytics back for tonight, we're going to have a lot of folks on the WEOL mobile app and on WEOL.com. 58.8 on the clock. The Bulldogs got the ball after the tie-up and the possession arrow. Right of his own basket, Galaska looking. Got it right corner to Higginbotham. To Galaska, back to Higginbotham. Higginbotham, double team. Shot it cross court to Fritz. Fritz at the scorer's table. Cross court pass to Higginbotham. Higginbotham in the center circle, fouled by Jordan Jackson. Jackson commits the foul. That's his third. 46.5 on the clock. That'll put Higginbotham at the free throw line. Pretty good free throw shooter, 73%. Ryan Higginbotham, 13 points tonight, 10 of which came in the first quarter of play. Higginbotham down at the other end of the floor, shooting 1-1. Got that gold 21 on the back of his blue uniform, front end up, no good. Rebound, grab by Jackson. Here comes Lorain. Devon Grant had it knocked out of his hand. Devon got it back. Double team, spins out of the double team. Cross court, Pierre Lewis down in the corner. Benajan, 3. Big bounce, no good. Rebound, Grant. Grant muscled it up, bounced off the rim, no good. Rebound, Dietrich. Under 30 seconds to go. Fritz fouled in the backcourt. Whitehead commits the foul, and Fritz is heading to the free throw line to shoot 2. And time's running out on Lorain. 27.1 on the clock. And it's not only running out for this game, it's running out on their season. Lorain's only other loss this year, right here on this floor, against Akron St. Vincent St. Mary. Fritz hits the first. 17 for Fritz, and it's now a 3-possession game. Fritz down at the other end. Sends it up, missed it, rebound Jackson. 60-53. Jackson to the forecourt. Jackson, his pass deflected, stolen by Higginbotham. Higginbotham left of the lane, fumbled it, got it back. Loose ball on the floor, Whitehead has it, and it's knocked out of bounds by Dietrich. But it's down to 13.3. There's just not enough clock for Lorain High. and the Titan fans are filing out. Into the forecourt, Grant behind his back on the dribble, lost it. Loose ball grabbed by Higginbotham. Got it to Galaska. Galaska into the forecourt. He's going to dribble out the clock. The Bulldogs have pulled the stunner. Olmsted Falls has come to Elyria Catholic, and they have won the district championship. Stunning Lorain High, 60-53. It'll be the Bulldogs on Thursday night at the University of Akron at 23-2 in the regional semifinal in the Sweet 16. Lorain High's dream season ends in nightmarish fashion here at EC, as Lorain High's year will end at 23-2. Congratulations to the Bulldogs. They are heading to the regional semifinal as district champion.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yes, for a nicer day, huh?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Gonna get some big ones. Anybody want to wear a life jacket?
I'm good.
No life jacket? That's a deal breaker.
Daddy, you promised.
Daniel Stevens.
Yeah, give me one of those life jackets.
This message brought to you by the National Safe Boating Council and the women who nag you. Love you.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.